The Justice Department is now looking at hate crime charges after left-wing activists unleashed violence outside UC Berkeley's Turning Point USA event on Monday night. And before things got out of control, a huge crowd had lined up for the event. Video taken in the thick of it, giving an inside look now and a timeline of what they were doing. Protesters began gathering on campus before 4 p.m. By 4:30, they were shouting, "F you, fascists." We clean that up a bit. And they were doing so at the people who were arriving for the TPUSA event. Then a brawl broke out. In one instance, a man wearing a Charlie Kirk Freedom shirt was beaten, bloodied, in a fight with an agitator who police say had stolen the man's necklace. They arrested that alleged thief, who goes by the name Jihad. As the event got underway inside the hall, protesters chanted vile slogans, moved closer to the entrance. Police stood guard, blocking them from going in the venue. And then those agitators escalated it all, lighting fires and smoke bombs. Turning Point USA organizers saying the scene looked like a war zone. Constitutional law attorney Jonathan Turley.
One of the key responsibilities of the government should be to protect these circles of free speech activity, to tell people like Antifa, you're not going to silence others. They get in there and they try to agitate the crowd, they try to trigger the violence, and it's got to stop. And, you know, the issue here is the core indispensable right to our Constitution of free speech. We either have to protect it or we lose it.
Critics went after the state's governor over what all unfolded. One posted, "This is Gavin Newsom's California. Do you really think he should be allowed to run all 50 states?" Newsom finally broke his silence yesterday through a spokesperson about as weak of a condemnation as you can get. And this quote, "Violence is not a legitimate exercise of First Amendment rights. While people have the right to protest, it must be done peacefully." Okay, a child could have said that. In focus now, Jason Chaffetz, Fox News contributor, former Republican congressman of Utah. Look, it is becoming clearer and clearer that free speech only applies to people on the left. Because if the right were outdoing some of the things that we're seeing happen from the left, you can bet every politician, Democrat on the Hill, would be talking about this. People on the streets would be fighting back. But the conservatives inside TPUSA's event, not protected.
Yeah, and what, you couldn't see this a month ago coming forward? That is the weakest sauce, Governor Newsom. Come on. Where's the ACLU? Where's the American Civil Liberties Union? You know, it used to be that the heart of free speech was there in Berkeley, but no more. It's only politically correct speech, and the violence and the intimidation. You know, supposedly Gavin Newsom's son was a big fan of Charlie Kirk's, if we're to believe him, at least once upon a time. Do you think he'd allow his son to be in that type of situation? Well, why does he put literally hundreds and hundreds of people who just want to have a good political discussion have to deal with this garbage and this type of violence and the threats? It's never ending in California under Gavin Newsom.
Well, UC Berkeley's campus police chief is in charge of security around that event, was also in charge of the U.S. Capitol Police's protective and intelligence operations during the 2021 Capitol riot. She admitted her massive failure back then, but Berkeley leadership still hired her after what they say was a nationwide search. They couldn't find anybody else?
Yeah, this is failing up. You know, hey, let's put her out here in Berkeley, California. Are you kidding? She should never be in law enforcement. I mean, I wouldn't hire her to guard a mall, let alone the campus of. And what bothers me is this was foreshadowed, right? Turning Point got the proper permits. They rented the room. They got their facilities ready to go. Law enforcement and intelligence supposedly should have seen this a couple months in advance. And yet they let it devolve into this. That's what's so fundamentally wrong. And it's done to intimidate. It's done to scare people off in other places. So good Americans who want to just have a good political discussion won't show up.
Look, real quickly, and I know that our audience knows this, and I just want to remind everybody, you were there. You were with Charlie Kirk the day he was assassinated. And when you see what's happening to his supporters and this burst of a faith revival and all of his debating and all of that free speech infused in these young people, and this happens, what is your personal reaction to that?
Well, you can't stop it from coast to coast. There are millions of people that were inspired by Charlie Kirk, by Erica Kirk, and they are not going to be suppressed. You know, you can go to Berkeley, California, and they can have that kind of confrontation. But if they think that that's going to intimidate the masses and this group under the age of 30, when I went to that place at UVU, Utah Valley University, and when I spoke up in Logan at a Turning Point event, 90+% of the people there are under the age of 30. They just want to be involved and engaged and love their country and have a good political discussion. And that's happening everywhere, coast to coast. It's not going to, it only fuels the fire. It only fuels the excitement of these young people to get involved and engaged. But no American should have to deal with this. Nobody. This is the United States of America. Where is Gavin Newsom? Where is he?
Jason Chaffetz, thank you for being in focus.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Compagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.